Welcome to this workshop. I know it's strange that I have a microphone and you're standing right in front of me, but we have a big audience watching this as a webcast as well. So today what we'd like to do in this workshop is to go over the basic essential elements of English academic writing, just so you're familiar with it. And then we're going to focus on a couple specific skills, specifically how to read and understand an academic journal article. Then we're going to talk about the writing skills of paraphrasing and summarizing. A few important things to remember. English is very linear and straightforward. Okay, there are no surprises. We don't wait until the very end to tell you the most important thing. We tell you at the beginning. It follows a straight line. Okay. Another important thing to understand is, when do I have to paraphrase English academic writing? Basically, anytime you use someone else's ideas, you should paraphrase.
A good paraphrase? Have we captured all the meanings? Yes? You guys like it? How about over there? Yeah, I think it's also successful. Notice how different this one is from this one. And yet they both successfully capture the idea of the original. This gets back to what Joe was saying about paraphrase. Essentially, when you paraphrase, you make the writing your own. This is my writing. I got this idea from here, but I'm expressing the idea.
Because the original fragment was quite neutral. It was talking about romantic interest in general, and here, this paraphrasing uses the pronoun we, which makes it more personal. Like, I'm talking about myself. Or am I talking about the author? Who is we in this article?
That's a good point. The use of we doesn't reflect the original, because now we don't know who are we. Exactly.
Now we're going to get back to the final part of this workshop, which is summarizing. At the end of this workshop, you will know a few things. Number one, you'll have a clear understanding of what summarizing is, okay, and the role that it plays in academic writing. And also, you'll know how to write a summary and what the characteristics of a good summary are. Question here. Yeah, here's a question from the audience.
I was wondering if you have any advice for students regarding note-taking and organizing the information as you take your notes, so that when you paraphrase or when you're writing your idea, you don't get accidentally, you don't steal ideas from the author.
Great question and great point. So something really important, when I read an article that I know I have to summarize, when I'm taking notes, I try to use my own language. I try to paraphrase when I take notes, if I know I have to summarize. Because later when I summarize, then I know that the language in my notes is my own language and not the original author's. Because if I use the same language in my notes as from the article, and then I use those notes to write a summary, I will plagiarize. Okay.
But by doing this, I'm also processing the information and understanding it more deeply. And this is supported by a lot of research in the field, that the number one way to read successfully in the university level is to take notes when you're reading?
I mean, apart from studying and from reading, which I think is like one of the best things you can do to learn how to write, is to read paying attention to how it was written. Yeah.
It's another great point. I think the importance of when you read, you can become a lot better writer by reading, especially formal academic writing.